I'm arguing that we need to transition our energy system to a modern energy system, not just because we need to reduce our emissions, but importantly because as the former Energy Minister in New South Wales, I know that the coal-fired power generators that have propelled New South Wales' economy for generations and the rest of the national energy market for generations are coming to their end of life. 90% of Australia's coal-fired generators will be at their end of technical life by 2035. And we need to replace that generation before it closes. Otherwise, you'll have a less reliable grid and a more expensive electricity grid for all consumers and businesses. And today, the best way and the cheapest way to replace that old technology is new technology, which also happens to be clean technology. Rolling out renewables is very clearly the cheapest way to provide electricity and to modernise our grid. And it also happens to be the low emissions form. So we need to get on with it because we care about the environment. But importantly, we also need to get on with it because we want to lower household bills and we want to build a stronger economy. And firmed renewables is the clearest way to do that.
What do you say to those who argue that in the shorter term, by pursuing net zero, it's costing more? It's costing more electricity, particularly for those as well who are pursuing their livelihoods in the regions?
Well, those people arguing that are wrong. And don't take my word for it. Take the Australian energy market operator, the engineers who run our electricity system. They clearly say that firmed renewables are the cheapest way to replace our old and ageing coal-fired power stations. Take the Australian Energy Market Commission. They have very clearly said that an orderly transition of our electricity system to firmed renewables is the best and cheapest outcome for consumers and for businesses. So the engineers and the economists who run our electricity system are best placed to provide advice on what we should follow. We should be placing our policies based on the best engineering and economic advice, not ideology. Energy policy should all be about economics and engineering, not ideology. And it's very sad to see people making up the facts as they go along rather than listening to the experts who know what to do.
Matt, you're joining us from Brazil in the midst of the COP30 summit there. What progress has been made and what real tangible progress can be made when you've got the likes of the United States, China, the world's biggest emitters, not there?
Well, I've just arrived here in Brazil, and what's clear is that there is huge momentum around further action on climate change. The world is not waving the white flag because the White House has retreated. That is evident here as we're seeing people from all around the world, countries and delegations from all around the world coming together to see how we can hand our planet to our kids better than we found it, but do so in a way that leaves us all more prosperous. That's the chance we have, and I'm so thrilled that Australia is here trying to grab that opportunity.
Is Australia being represented disproportionately in the sense that we are one of the lowest emitters, around 1% of carbon in the world, but we are shouldering significant cost in pursuing this?
Well, not at all, Catherine. When you take into account our fossil fuel exports, we're actually responsible for about 4% of the world's emissions. So that is quite a significant amount for a country like ours. But the other fact that we need to get into this debate is that no country on the planet is better placed to prosper from this global transition than Australia. And let's not forget, the world is moving to decarbonise. 84% of the world's GDP has committed to net zero emissions. So the markets that have underwritten Australia's prosperity for generations are shifting for the kind of products that they are looking for. And Australia's really well placed to provide them in that low carbon economy because of our abundant renewable resources. So the sooner we transition our electricity system, the sooner we get household bills and business bills down, but the sooner we are able to build new industries, create new jobs and drive investment in the green economy, which the world is demanding. So again, the world has wanted our agricultural products in the past, our mining resources in the recent past. They will also want our green materials. And if we don't provide them, then another jurisdiction will, and with it will go the jobs, the investments and the economic growth that goes with it. So Australia should be grabbing the economic opportunities that are coming with this transition, whether the National Party likes it or not.